Hello and welcome to watch Renew Yourself with Karma Cleanse Live. Today we will be talking about self-belief and how you can discover your true potential. How wonderful would it be if you would just be confident to move forward towards your dreams? Because self-doubt sometimes takes us away from the path. Because we just start questioning, what the heck am I doing here? At least that's my own journey. Because when I jumped away from the traditional path and from the 9 to 5 office job and started Karma Cleanse, there was moments when I was like, what did I just do? I left a secure job and now I'm following my dreams, but whoa, there were definitely moments of self-doubt. So if you are experiencing self-doubt, you are not alone, first of all. And today I have a special guest for you who is specializing in this and will share very valuable tips that will help you to establish your confidence and discover your true potential. So welcome, Nicola Arnold from Enkindle Life Coaching. I'm so happy that you are here today. So how are you today?
Hi, thank you. I'm very well, thank you. And it's a real pleasure to join you. So thank you very much for the invitation.
So good to have you here to share all those wonderful tips. So you are the founder of Enkindle Life Coaching. Could you tell us a little bit more what you do?
So yes, so my name is Nicola and I am a life coach, and my business in Kindle actually means to illuminate. And so I see myself as someone who helps illuminate the path of possibilities for others. And it really is about helping people really feel comfortable in their own skin and able to really ignite their own potential, and to be able, just like you have, to be able to really connect that and then do something that they really want to do.
Wonderful. Was there a specific event that led you to this path? Did you wake up one day and say, well, I'm going to be a life coach and help to illuminate the path? How did you come up with this idea?
Oh, that's such a great question. Helping others has always been something that's, I guess, in my blood, really. And I've been coaching informally for years. And about 4 years ago, I suddenly felt very intrigued to find out more about it and how I could work more with individuals to help them do that. And so took myself through a process of formal coaching to actually certify as a coach. And throughout that journey, I actually had my very own personal journey as well, which really helped me to understand what I needed and how I wanted to live out my dreams. And so that's why I feel I can now help others, because I truly understand how they're feeling. Like you mentioned, the nerves, they're not sure what to do next, and really help bring people out that other side, just as I now live that every day in my own life.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And how about the company name, Enkindle? That's not the most common choice. Because how did you come up with that? Because was there a special meaning how you got that name?
Yeah, oh, great question again. Well, in Kindle means to illuminate. And I think as I went through my own journey, there was a real transformation in terms of how I got out there in the world, and even just feeling really comfortable in my own skin and almost radiating energy and light in terms of how I presented myself. I found that I
Yeah.
used to dress a lot in very dark colours, and so I dress much more in brighter colours now because I'm happy to be seen. I think that's the difference. It sounds a bit cliche, but there really is that transformation between chrysalis to butterfly. I'm very happy now to be seen with my beautiful wings. And so I wanted a business name that really echoed that for people. And so that's where it came from. And whole business around it now is based around that, and it's a really exciting time. So
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that because it's such a beautiful story. And I'm so happy that, first of all, you chose to take the step forward and allow yourself to be seen in this
Yes,
world and do the work that you do because you are so needed.
thank
And
you.
what I believe as well is sometimes these are our karmic challenges or karmic patterns that are keeping us small. And so, how did you come up from that? Like, how did you start taking those steps towards to be seen? Did you like? Could you tell a little bit about the journey, the transformation? Like, were you aware when you were wearing those dark colors and being a little bit like not showing yourself or sharing yourself with the world? Were you aware of that? And what was the key to shift that where you are now?
Yes, I can remember the exact time actually that I recognised where I was, and I almost feel
Wow.
like goose pimples on my arms as I think about it. So, um, as part of my coach training, one of the sessions that we had to do was to sit and be with the thing that we didn't like,
Hmm.
because you know. I'm sure, as you're aware, when you're working with people, it's really important that we are able to self-manage and not be part of their experience, but help be with them through their experience.
Yeah.
And so it was really important that I was able to deal with my own demons, as it were. And that's where it came from. And I don't think I realized how deep seated that was and how long I'd been keeping that, and never really let it come up to the surface.
Hmm.
And so having to sit there and be with that for a whole day, and literally wear a sticky label that said that, that was
Oh.
visible for everybody to see, was the complete start of my awakening.
Mm.
And I was um, really, really privileged to share that experience with some lovely friends that I made along the way, who have really seen that transformation, and really still comment on how different I am now. Um, so that was a really exciting time, but also a really scary time. And I'm sure that there
Mm.
are lots of people out there now that are thinking, oh, I could never do that. But actually to sit and make peace with yourself, to really connect with your heart and be really happy in your own skin, is absolutely the first step to banishing that self-doubt and feeling really confident.
Mm. And sometimes when we do a change, I don't know if this has happened to you. There might be people in your life that are not actually supporting. They might say, but they want to keep you how you were before. Did you experience that? And if you did, how did you handle that situation?
Absolutely. There really is something about living true to your values. And I'd never really thought about that concept of values before it was invited for me to have a think about and
Mm,
list them. And that really started to help me see who I really was, who I was at the core, what I believed in,
yeah.
and almost an understanding that some of the things that I was doing in life and some of the people I was connected to weren't necessarily aligned with my values. And I was
Mm,
perhaps meeting with people because historically that's what I'd done, and I had those connections there from a long time ago. And so again, a bit of an awakening there, that actually I wanted to surround myself with the people that really meant something to me, that I had a true connection with, and that would help support me in my transformation, as I really started to accept myself. um,
mm,
so I feel really privileged to have certain people in my life now that really champion everything I do, and that means the world to me. That really does.
oh, that's so great. Wonderful that you get now have the supportive people around you, because I think that's so important as well that we get the support
Mm.
because we are not here alone. Sometimes our mind might make us to think that we are, or we are isolated, we are different, and that
Mm.
even creates more the self-doubt. But then when you have that support or reach out to get the support, that is the moment when we start to change, that I believe, because we don't need to do that journey on our own. We can,
Absolutely.
but we don't have to.
Absolutely. Self-belief is so important. And I think it really has to start with that. That you really have some, you actually start to love yourself. You truly appreciate yourself. And from that, you can literally align yourself. And, when you show up in that way, in that honest and authentic way, then you are more likely to have connections with the same honest, authentic people around you as well. And from there, true connections can really be made. So.
Yeah. And what I believe as well is this is very interesting, the relationship, because that's something I do with Karma Cleanse, is talking and releasing if there is any toxic relationship in your life. Because sometimes there are lessons that we can learn, but then there is a moment when you say, okay, complete. This learning is complete, and now I choose to surround myself with people who value me as me and love me as I am, not needing to change a thing. So I think that is also so great to recognize that then you can actually choose the people you surround yourself with. Like you did started to shift a little bit who you spend more time with in order for you to get the support.
Yeah, I think that's such an important point, is that choice is everything. We choose who we want to be, how we want to be, and who we surround ourselves with. And that's just so important, to live true to yourself and to those around you. And like you said, some connections are not meant to be lifelong. And I like to see that in a really positive way. I'm a real gratitude champion, and I would rather appreciate the connections that I have had and what we've learned and how we've grown together, than to worry that was something toxic or didn't work that I had to leave behind. But to appreciate it at the time, but then to appreciate that actually it's not serving me anymore.
Yeah,
So,
exactly, because there is learning from everything.
absolutely.
Like even the most hurtful experiences, there is something we can learn from them in positive sense.
Yes.
so that's the beauty of the life, that you can always also, that's a choice as well, how you choose to see things.
Yes.
Like you can see the same cup half empty or half full. It's still the same same amount of water.
It absolutely is. But actually, I'd like to add a third one to that, is that the cup is always refillable.
Yeah.
There's always another perspective that you can choose to be in, and who knows what's around the corner that might bring you even more joy.
I just love that. That was so good reminder. Like, the universe is abundant. There is no limit. Wonderful. So if somebody's now listening to this show and thinking like, I start recognizing that I have the self-doubt, and I feel that maybe I'm not showing myself in the world, sharing my gifts, there is something holding me back. So what could be then the first step, the tiny step that the person could start taking in order to discover their true potential and being able to show their true colors with the world?
I think for me, one of the first things that I did, and I now encourage other people to do, is to really make that connection with themselves, and really truly to appreciate themselves for who they are now. Now that can be done in a number of different ways. It could be that you just need to spend some quiet time with yourself, perhaps becoming more mindful or even meditating. But for me, what I found was connecting with gratitude. As I said, I'm a huge gratitude champion. And for me, just starting to have a gratitude journal or a gratitude jar that allowed me to start appreciating positive things in my world really helped to see myself in a different light and to appreciate who I was, and that actually I was good enough as I was. That's one of those phrases, I am enough, that so many people feel they cannot say. And so for that, even just as simply as every night before you go to bed, just saying 3 things to yourself or writing 3 things down that have gone well for you today. And they don't have to be mega milestones like getting a new job or, finishing a project. It could just be as simple as, I've I've managed to sit down and just enjoy some time tonight, having a lovely conversation with someone, or I saw a beautiful flower in the garden today. It's just appreciation. And as we do that, we strengthen the neuron pathways that lead to the parts of the brain that deal with perspective, and ultimately that does make us happier. So it really is about connecting with ourselves first.
That's beautiful. I am enough. That is such a powerful
Yes,
affirmation.
absolutely.
Because sometimes we go into the trap of we need to do something, we need to be something before we are enough, but we already are.
It's so easy to compare ourselves to others. I'm very guilty of having done that myself as well. And I think when I started to recognize that actually this is my journey of who I am in my particular part of my life, then I started to embrace that more. And I think I started to see the world through different eyes. And that's a much better place to be.
Yeah, been there as well. Comparison came.
Yeah,
But I have actually started to shift that as well, because my mind loves to compare. So then I have changed that to like, okay, look, similarities. So now it's still active, doing its thing, comparing, but it's focusing more what's the same instead of what's different.
brilliant.
So, so that has been my trick with that, to keep my mind busy.
I think that's important as well, is that you understand for yourself how you choose to do that, and that all of us will have our own different processes of how we manage that. So again, there's not one right or wrong way again of comparing how to compare, if that makes sense.
Exactly, because we all have our own journeys.
Yeah.
And if somebody would like to have support from you for their journey, so how could they find out more about your work? How could they reach out to you?
Well, thank you. Well, firstly, I'm a regular Huffington Post blogger, and also contribute to Thrive Global and Elephant Journal. And I'm very passionate about sharing my work. So certainly if people wanted to have a look, you'd be most welcome to follow me on there. I also have a website, which is www.inkindlelifecoaching.com. And the other thing, as I've mentioned a few times, the gratitude work is incredibly important to me. And so last year I launched the Happy to Be Me Hub, which is a closed Facebook group, just under 200 members there that come in and regularly share what's made them smile, and champion each other to continue connecting with gratitude on a regular basis. So people would be most welcome to come and dive into there and come and check us out, and join a community that really strives to smile all the time.
That's wonderful. Happy to be me.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, and thank you so much for sharing those. So people, and I will post your website link as
Thank
well
you.
to the comments, so it's easy for people to find,
Oh,
and they
that's
can
great. Thank you.
go to check it out and get value and support that they need on their journey. So, is there something else you would like to share, a special affirmation or a message to support the people on their journey?
Actually, yeah, I have got a little quote here by Dr.
Oh,
Seuss, if you've heard of Dr. Seuss.
yes.
And it says, "You have brains in your head and feet on your shoes, and you can steer yourself any way that you choose." And again, it's all bringing it back to being in your own skin, being comfortable, that you can look around and go anywhere you want to be, as long as you're happy with yourself. So.
That's so sweet. I love that quote. So thank you so much, Nicola, for being the guest of the Renew Yourself with Karma Cleanse live today. It was such a pleasure to have you, and keep illuminating the path to others and shining your radiant light. I just love, love, love your energy and positivity. You truly are a gratitude champ.
Well, thank you so much. It's been such a privilege to share my work with people today. And so thank you very much indeed. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. And we will have new episodes soon with the Renew Yourself with Karma Cleanse. So stay tuned. Bye for now.